The Sciforror Film Podcast. Hello and welcome to the Sciforror Film Podcast. He, him, whichever way it is, because I always seem to point the wrong way. So I'm going to point both ways. No, because when I do that, normally when I put it back, when I play it on after I record it and play it back, it's pointed the wrong way. So I'm just going to point both ways. Okay. He is Scott Walker.
Hello.
Hello, Scott.
Hello.
I am Andy Walker. Hello. And we are here, just about. We are here to do some short film reviewing type thingy things. And this week we are looking at 3 short science fiction films. But before we go on, a quick update on the health condition of my son. How you doing? All right?
Yeah, I was saying I've still got a bit of a sore throat, still a bit achy and bunged up, but
Sore throat.
yeah, found out what it was. Mum watched it on the news a couple of days ago. Apparently this is super cough.
Super cough.
Yeah, it sounds like a really dodgy. It sounds like almost like a sort of B-type superhero. But yeah, no, it's a super cough apparently going around. It gives all the symptoms that I had and all the effects, and lasts for up to a week and a half, which is pretty much a little bit less than what I've had it for.
You should try sucking a fisherman's friend.
I know what you're talking about as well, but it just I can't stand them, so it's disgusting.
Is this old bloke who lives by the docks? He's up in court for flashing at women. And he goes into court and the judge says, "How do you plead?" He goes, "No guilty." I said, "What's the matter with you?" He said, "I've got a really sore throat." I said, "Have you tried sucking a fisherman's friend?" He said, "Don't you think I'm in enough trouble?" Anyway.
Yeah, other than that, I'm fine. Say fine. I'm a little bit battered and bruised because, not battered and bruised. I've cut my hand open.
Oh yeah, how'd you do that?
The bin's out.
Obviously.
No, I had to put a bin in the wheelie bin that we've got, and I didn't realise there was broken glass on it, so I put my hand on it to push it back.
Well, I don't know.
I'm gonna start. I've been told by Amy and everyone that I've got to start wearing bubble wrap and just not going out anywhere.
Stop wearing glasses.
I do wear glasses. It's a problem.
Anyway, right. I'm going to have a quick mouthful of water because I seem to have picked up a little cough there. Tickling. Just tickling the back of my throat.
Yes. That's how mine started.
So here we go. 3 short science fiction films. The first one is a film from 2012 and it's called The Device.
Yeah.
Directed by Claude Lee Sadik, not Siddick. Producers were Claude Lee Sadik and George Panello. With my mouth. Planello. Director of photography was Claude Lee Sadik, and the music by Tim Kahn. Cast Leo Mates. The synopsis is tripping over me words, my tongue. The synopsis is: a mysterious device is about to shake a young man's life. That's all it says.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yes, well, I thought it was it looked okay. It had a good look to it, cinematography wise, and all that kind of thing. There was an interesting use of music and sound effects and things like that. The effects were quite good. It was an interesting idea with a reasonable ending, and I kind of like it. But I couldn't really say that it was something that really grabbed me.
No, it's just I was saying I liked the editing with it with like sort of back and forward. Um, the idea behind the film, I'm pretty sure I've seen something like it before, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
But it is a very good idea. I did like the ending. I thought it was very not funny, but I thought it was quite well done.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Um, Obviously some of the background noise and effects I thought were quite loud, but I don't know if that was due to my laptop and my headphones or what, but it did seem a little bit louder than it needed to be.
Yeah, I can understand that.
But other than that, I did like it. I liked the whole idea behind it, the whole film, but I feel the same. It didn't grab me really.
Yeah.
It was a good film, and I'm glad I've watched it, but it's not something I'm very hyped up about.
No, I mean, I got but when I got to the end of it, it was like, oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
It wasn't really something I thought, wow, that was really good. I mean, it was. I mean, the guy Leo makes his acting was good.
yeah,
I mean, everything about it was good, but it was kind of like there's not much more of it about you can say, really. There was
no,
nothing that really stood out about it.
no. It's just saying there's his acting. I've got to admit was quite good. It's very well done and um very well done in it. They're just saying it's hardly any speaking. I think there's only like 4 words that are actually said in it, and this is
Yeah,
him shouting yes. But I say it's very well done, and I did like the whole premise behind it. But I say I feel a bit sort of underwhelmed by it.
yeah. I mean, the ending was good, as you say. It was mildly amusing,
Yeah,
sort of like, but it wasn't really anything. There was nothing really spectacular about the whole thing.
no,
It was good. It was almost like watching a sketch in a show rather than a film or something like
yeah,
that. Really. Um, but yeah, it was good. I mean, fair play to them. It was well made, and they went out there and did it and all that kind of stuff. I wouldn't say to anybody don't watch it, but it wouldn't be something that was on top of my list for recommendations.
no.
No. Okay. Right. So the second film is called Artifice. This is from 2021. Director Spencer Colsack. I can't help it. When I say that name, it sounds funny. Colsack, like a sack you put coal in, but no, sorry. Spencer Colsack. Director of photography was Luke Holiday. Music by Max Higginbotham. Makeup by Rebecca Colsack. The cast was, where are we? Gavin Miller, Jordan Van Dyke, Brandy Botkin, Rebecca Orr, Bobby Kenny III, David Himes, and Riley Mason. There you go. The synopsis for this one, it says, the government has invented a machine that allows an agent to copy their consciousness into a host body. Kane, one such agent, is sent on a mission to infiltrate a terrorist organization using a host body. He did not expect to find what he did.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
Again, this is another film. I really liked it. I liked the effects. I liked the camera work and lighting and sound and all that. It's an amazing idea behind the film.
Yeah.
I did want to know more about what was going on.
Yeah, I
But
did.
I don't know.
Felt that it wasn't.
It's another one that just sort of I don't know. Just seemed like there was something missing from it.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean.
I don't. As I say, I don't know what. I couldn't tell you what. But it just felt like something was missing, and I don't know. I was just sort of I wanted to know more what was going on and more behind what was going to happen next or what led to that and stuff like that. But it just
Yeah.
I don't know. It left me wanting, sort of left a bit underwhelmed again. But I would like to know. I would have liked to know what's going on.
Yeah, no, I agree. It looked good. It was a really interesting idea. The idea of being able to transfer your consciousness into another body and use that
Yeah.
to go and do the missions. So you kind of, it's the ultimate kind of infiltration, because you can almost use a body that they think is safe.
Yeah.
Great idea. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think there was enough background to it.
No.
Much to explain exactly what was happening and why and things like that, and who some people were. There was a voiceover on it, which was incredibly loud.
Yeah.
It was really too loud. But yeah, the effects were good, and it was an okay film, but it wasn't great.
No.
It was.
I say it's. I don't know. It's another one that's saying I think there was something missing from it, and I can't put my finger on what it was, whether or not
No.
I couldn't tell what it was, but it just felt like there was something missing, and it didn't really explain a lot of what was going on. And I get the fact that there's certain films that don't want to do that because it gives too much away, but I think it needed some sort of explanation, some sort of.
Even reading the synopsis, it doesn't really
No.
give you enough to really go on exactly what was happening.
No. To be honest, as well, though, the way that I feel look at it, the way that I look at it, is that reading I read the synopsis anyway, but I thought about it afterwards the fact that if someone had got me to watch a film and then said to me, give me a list of synopsis, or a group of synopsis, and said what one goes with this film, I wouldn't have immediately picked that one.
No, I know. I agree. I think one of the things I think was like, all of the people that were in it were named and all this kind of thing, but some of them just seemed to be quite, in some of the bits of it, some of them just seemed to be just standing there, not really doing anything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just kind of wondered, like they might not, they might as well not have been there.
I don't know, it confusing a bit.
There's definitely something missing. Something wasn't quite there. But it's a good look, and it's a good idea, and it's just maybe they didn't quite bring it to the bring it to its fullest whatever.
Yeah.
I have no idea what I'm talking about now.
Scarily enough, I understand what you mean, though.
We're going to go on to the third one now. Now, this is a film and 3/4. It's a 2016 film called Sunspring. It's an NQ production made in conjunction with ARS Technica. The director is Oscar Sharp. The cast is Thomas Middleditch, who was in HBO's series Silicon Valley, which I've never seen. I've got no idea what it's about, but he was in that apparently. Humphrey Kerr and Elizabeth Gray. Now, there is a kind of synopsis to this, but it's more of an explanation than a synopsis. It says, in the wake of Google's AI Go victory, filmmaker Oscar Sharp turned to his technologist collaborator, Ross Goodwin, to build a machine that could write screenplays. They created Jetson and fueled him with hundreds of sci-fi TV and movie scripts. Building a team including Thomas Middleditch, star of HBO Silicon Valley, they gave themselves 48 hours to shoot and edit whatever Jetson decided to write. Now, the list of screenplays they use is enormous.
Yes.
And it contains some of the best science fiction films that have been made in the last 20, 30 years.
Yeah, I think it didn't it show at one point the list of them on there, and
It shows the list. It goes up quite
yeah,
quickly right at the beginning.
and it's a sound. I pulled a few of them, and it is amazing some of the ones that they put in.
Absolutely. It's. I want to start off by saying I think it's an incredibly interesting experiment and idea. An amazing idea of a thing to do to see what you get from it.
Yeah,
I used to have a book. I still got it somewhere, which is called the Policeman's Beard is Half Constructed, and it's a book of poetry and prose and a short story they did the same thing with a computer. They fed it poetry, song lyrics, and some short stories and that sort of thing to teach it the way to write.
yeah,
That. And then they just got it to write poems and write this short story. And there are some really kind of like deep moments there where you read it and you go, wow, that's incredible that a computer would come up with that combination of words. But then you remind yourself that he's just really picking words at random that it's been told go together in work in certain patterns. So, it's an amazing thing. But this is kind of like going a step further than that. I wrote one word.
Okay.
I wrote one word to describe the entire film. All I wrote was bizarre.
Yeah, I pretty much wrote. I wrote a couple of things down. I wrote it down, and then just every time I came back to that word, I put an exclamation mark after it, and I've got about 6, and it just is confusing.
Considering it had some of the top scripts from the top films for the last like 20, 30 years. And considering I'm assuming that it was taught the basic rules and parameters of script writing.
Yeah.
It comes up with the most bizarre connection of words sometimes.
Yeah,
it's so disjointed.
Oh, it's just. I mean, it's a very odd and good idea behind the film and behind it, and I think it's a very good idea. The acting is made, but it's just the script that was done, and I'm guessing like you, just that it's been taught or been fed the data to be able to do how a script or how it should be worded.
Yeah,
but it's just some of the things that he puts together and
it's incredible. Sorry.
Just the whole idea, the whole sort of like the wording and the phraseology and the sort of grouping of words as well. Sometimes same thing. I sat there like, okay, that's a bit, that's really good. And then sometimes like, what the hell is going on?
And it's so repetitive as well. Considering all of the words it had from all of those screenplays.
Yeah.
It's so repetitive. It repeats the same line about 3 or 4 times throughout this short script. The same sort of phrases.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and then it becomes completely disjointed and goes off at a real weird tangent. And then it just kind of ends.
Yeah, it just, I don't know. It's just, as I was saying, the acting in it, I think, was very well done because of the fact that having to keep a straight face and the sort of emotion that is shown in the film, even though I don't see how.
That's the other thing that I wasn't sure about, is the fact that if the computer, when it printed the screenplay out, because I haven't seen the screenplay, but when it printed the screenplay out, did it give stage instructions of how the lines should be delivered, what emotion was meant to be put across with them, how the people were supposed to interact with each other when they're saying these things? Because if not, then that means that the people were putting their own inference on what they thought should be said or how they thought they should be said. which then kind of defeats the point of having the computer to write it, really.
Yeah, but I think with that as well, though, is the fact that either way that opens up so many different things because of the fact that if they weren't given the directions and the way to read the script, then you're putting that human element back into the film which they were trying to get rid of.
Yeah.
But if they were given the ways to read the film, then it means that almost that well, to me, that almost seems like the computer or the AI system that made it has a form of, I want to say, irony.
Yeah.
But because of the fact that there's certain things, especially the woman at the end, the stuff that she was saying, and then to have the emotion that she had and the tears she had.
Yeah.
If the computers come up with that, then that just leads us down a whole different path of weirdness.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to know a bit more about what they did as far as that was concerned. But on the whole, I wanted to watch it because it was something different and because it was an experiment and it was something completely outside of the normal parameters of the films we watch.
Yeah.
But when I got to the end of it, as I say, I wrote bizarre. The other thing I wrote down was I'm not sure if I like it or understand it.
No, I'm.
And the problem with it is I'm not sure if I was meant to.
Yeah, see, that's the problem I had as well. Is I sat there and it got about halfway through, and I'm like, I actually had to stop the film at one point, and I was like, am I meant to understand what's going on? Or,
yeah.
And I actually had to go and have a fag because I'm like, to try and convince myself that there wasn't something wrong with me.
Yeah.
Because of the fact I'm sitting there like, this doesn't make any sense. I'm missing something.
If we're not meant to understand it or necessarily like it, then is it just an experiment for the sake of doing the experiment? In which case, is there really a point to it? Because all you've done is you've proven that if you input lots of words if you get a computer, you input lots of words into it and you give it an idea of how those words are supposed to be structured and put together, then it can give you back words in a structured order, which really doesn't prove anything.
No, because as you've pointed out, it's the fact that it's been done before. But
it's also it just becomes like a random number generator if you're just going to do that, because it just means the computer is picking out words. It goes, all right, that's a verb, that's an adverb, that's a and then it goes, right, I know they're supposed to go together in that order, so I'll just stick them together in that order. The sentence doesn't need to make sense.
No, and that's the thing, is the fact is whether or not, if obviously I get the fact that, like you said, if it's the randomness, but if you got it to write out, and again, it probably wouldn't be exactly the same, but it probably, like you said, would have a portion of it or portions of it that would sound very similar.
Yeah.
And it's just, I agree with you. It's just, I don't understand the reason behind it. If it's whether or not it's because I've missed something or what, but
no, I don't. I just think it was, in the end, I think it comes down to the fact it was a group of guys who just thought, let's do this and see what happens.
Yeah.
And they either didn't care about what the end product was, or it didn't matter to them that the end product might be something that people either didn't like or didn't understand.
Well, there is a clip at the end of the film on the title credits. And it says and it says that it is to try and win awards. Now, whether or not it's to win awards in filmmaking or in technology, it doesn't explain. But it's like a very confusing.
I could see it possibly winning awards in technology for the fact that you've got something that can put some kind of thing together that's vaguely reminiscent of a screenplay.
Yeah.
But other than that, I can't see that it would.
No,
I can't see it winning any awards in filmmaking, because there's nothing spectacular about it as a film.
No, it's a very odd way to spend like 9 minutes just
Yeah. And it
To be honest,
probably took them a hell of a lot longer because they had to
Oh, yeah.
import scripts and all that kind of stuff as well. So,
but to be honest, if I wanted to listen to a group of people that want to know, just go down and talk to a little group of people that I know.
yeah,
But it's, as I was saying, it's a very good idea, but I just
interesting.
don't understand
idea,
it. I don't understand it.
No, I'm not sure I understand the point of it.
No.
Really, when it comes down to it, it's apart from it just being a novelty, sort of like, oh, look what we can do.
Yeah, it's like, I do actually think it might be like you said. It's either they've done it for a reason which I don't think is quite clear, or they've done it just for the sake of the fact that they can.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So we had, yes, there you go. There's the 3 films that we did. The Device was pretty good, but wasn't anything spectacular. Artifice, again, pretty good, but nothing spectacular. And Sunspring, which was just a bizarre 9 minutes of
Weirdness.
that's kind of like rather pointless. So on the whole, we're doing quite well so far.
We're back to the ones where the sci-fi ones. It's very bizarre.
Yeah. I don't know if it's just me, but maybe it's me picking sci-fi films that are just not that good. We've had a few good ones, but most of the time the sci-fi ones seem to kind of leave us a bit. Yeah. Oh well. Anyway, right. So go and check those films out. Check them out for yourself. And then get in touch with us and tell us we're talking garbage if you want. I mean, you know.
Yeah, tell us if you understand what the hell Sunspring's about.
Yeah. I don't know. Next week we will be back with 3 short horror films, and then that sort of thing. And we're going to do, I've decided, you're okay with this, that once we do the Christmas one,
yes,
which is going to be good fun, I have no doubt. Once we do the Christmas one, we're going to do a final show where we are going to just give some recommendations of films that we have seen. Some of them are going to be ones that we've reviewed in the last year. Some of them are going to be ones that we've just watched in the last year and sort of like we liked or didn't like or whatever. Just give a quick sort of like rundown of some films that we think are worth watching if you can, and like that.
Yeah.
Seems reasonable. So thank you for tuning in, dropping out, running around and bouncing up and down, falling over. And yes, thank you, Scott.
That's okay. Thank you for having me. Don't
Say
say it.
that
Don't say it.
But finally got around to seeing Willy's Wonderland. It's a good film.
Yeah.
And
that's definitely a film and a half.
It is. Yes, in 1 week, Willy's Wonderland and Prisoners of the Lost Universe. That's a combination.
That's a week.
It's more like a fortnight.
Yeah, that's a good reason to watch them films and then go, I just need to sleep.
Right, well, thank you for everyone who's tuned in, and we will see you again next week. I have been me, he has been him, we have been us, and the world keeps turning. Bye.
Bye.
The Sciforror Film Podcast.